When rice becomes toxic for your kidneys, about half of the world's population relies on rice for daily meals. And Americans average roughly a cup of cooked rice a day. But here's the part most people never hear. Rice can quietly harm your kidneys because it concentrates certain toxic compounds, especially inorganic arsenic, a heavy metal linked to kidney damage and cancer risk. The goal of this video is simple: show you exactly why rice can be risky, how to choose safer types, and how to cook it in ways that dramatically cut toxins so you can enjoy your bowl with peace of mind. Before we dive in, please note that this information is created by real people, thoroughly fact-checked, unbiased, and reviewed by qualified professionals. Why rice is a problem for kidneys. Recent studies highlight a recurring culprit in rice: arsenic. Arsenic exists in two main forms: organic arsenic in plants, animals. Less toxic, inorganic arsenic in soil, groundwater. Most toxic, and this is the form that accumulates in rice more than in other grains. Rice absorbs far more inorganic arsenic than barley, wheat, oats, or maize. Reviews estimate that rice can contain around 10 the inorganic arsenic of other grains, grown under similar conditions. That's why rice and rice-based products are a leading dietary source of arsenic exposure in many countries. Why so high in rice? Rice is often grown in flooded fields. Oxygen, waterlogged soils make arsenic more available for the plant to absorb. Historics, use of arsenic-based pesticides and local geology. Industrial runoff can leave higher residues in soils and irrigation. Water, using arsenic-contaminated water to soak or cook rice can further raise the total arsenic in your bowl. What that means for your kidneys: cute. High-dose arsenic exposure can cause sudden poisoning, but for most of us, the risk is chronic low-dose exposure over years. That's the slow, silent kind. Inorganic arsenic depletes glutathione, your cell's master antioxidant, and generates free radicals. This oxidative stress injures the glomeruli, your kidney's delicate filters and tubules where electrolytes and nutrients are reabsorbed. Over time, it can lead to protein loss in urine, electrolyte imbalances, progressive scarring, and chronic kidney disease (CKD), which is irreversible. People with existing kidney problems are especially vulnerable because damaged kidneys clear arsenic less efficiently, accelerating the cycle of harm. Where your rice comes from matters. Arsenic levels vary 3 to 34 between different rices, depending on variety and origin. Trends seen in large samplings: Arkansas, Louisiana, Texas. Arklatex rice often shows some of the highest arsenic levels among U.S. varieties. Influenced by soil history and irrigation sources, California rice tends to be lower than Ark-La-Tex, Basmati, and jasmine from regions like northern India. Pakistan and parts of Nepal are often among the lowest in arsenic. Some Asian regions, for example, parts of Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, China, may have high arsenic in irrigation water, raising levels in local rice. Brown versus white rice. Brown rice keeps the bran layer, great for fiber and nutrients, but that bran also holds more inorganic arsenic. On average, brown rice has approximately 50% more inorganic arsenic than its white counterpart from the same variety. White rice with the bran removed typically contains less arsenic and is often the safer choice from an arsenic standpoint. Tip: if you love brown rice, consider larger grain brown varieties, which tend to have a bit less arsenic than small grain brown, or blend brown with white to lower overall exposure. Other rice compounds that can stress kidneys: phytic acid, an antinutrient that can bind minerals, reducing absorption. In excess, especially alongside low calcium phytates, have been associated with tubular cell injury and crystal deposition in kidneys. Plus, bone mineral losses from higher urinary calcium/phosphate amylopectin. A rapidly digested starch that spikes blood sugar more. Repeated spikes worsen insulin resistance and diabetes. Risk both major drivers of kidney disease. Lower amylopectin choices. Long-grain varieties, for example, basmati. Jasmine, closing parenthesis, higher amylopectin choices. Short grain, arborio, paella. Many sushi sticky. How to make rice safer. Big reductions you can do at home. You don't have to quit rice. Just prepare it smarter and choose wisely. 1. Choose lower arsenic types. Prefer white basmati or jasmine from northern India, Pakistan, Himalayan regions. California sushi. Rice often tests lower than some southern U.S. rices. If you buy brown rice, favor larger grain varieties and brands that publish testing data. Point 2. Rinse and cook with clean water. Rinse thoroughly in clean, arsenic-safe water, filtered, bottled, or municipal water that meets standards. Using contaminated water to soak, cook, can increase arsenic in rice. 3. Cook like pasta. Method. Boil rice in 6. The water you'd normally use to cook until tender. Drain. Then rinse with fresh hot water. Typical reduction, approximately 40 to 60% inorganic arsenic. Note: this can also wash out some enrichment nutrients, iron, folate, thiamine, niacin, by 50 to 70%. Consider rounding out those nutrients elsewhere in your diet. 4. Parboil and absorb. Method. Home-friendly. Parboil rice in preheated water for 5 minutes. Drain, add fresh water, then cook on low until fully absorbed. Typical reduction, approximately 73%. Inorganic arsenic for white rice, 54% for brown. Bonus: this approach can also lower amylopectin impact, helpful for blood sugar. 5. Blend brown plus white. If you want fiber nutrients from brown rice but need to limit arsenic, mix half brown plus half white. This can lower arsenic exposure approximately 25% versus all brown, while still improving nutrition over all white. 6. Mind the water source. Avoid cooking rice with water exceeding 10 gl arsenic. Check your local water report or use certified filtration. How much rice is too much? A joint FAO consultation suggests a tolerable daily intake around 3.0 microgram per kilogram day of inorganic arsenic. Approximately equals 204 micrograms day for a 68 kg person. But rice arsenic can vary dramatically, 0.3 to 2,600 grams per kilogram. So serving by serving exposure can swing widely. Practical guidance, consumer-style limits. Up to 4.5 servings, week of U.S. sushi rice or basmati from Pakistan, India, California. For other rice types, aim for about 2 servings week for adults, approximately 1.25 servings week for children, 1 serving. Approximately equals 1/4 cup, 45 grams uncooked rice. Remember, total arsenic exposure also comes from rice products, cakes, crackers, cereals, milk. Some seafoods, ESP, shellfish, hijiki seaweed. Certain juices, apple, pear, grape, some poultry from feed additives, and vegetables grown in arsenic-rich soils. If you eat multiple rice-based foods, your weekly exposure adds up faster than you think. Smarter shopping and swaps. Check origin on the bag. Prefer Himalayan basmati, jasmine, or California sources when possible. Organic doesn't guarantee low arsenic. Soil and water do. Scan labels for rice, flour, or brown rice syrup in snacks and cereals. Rotate with alternatives. Rotate grains to dilute exposure. Quinoa, millet, buckwheat, amaranth, teff, corn, oats. Flaxseed, naturally low in arsenic. And gluten-free. Frequently asked questions. Kidney-focused. Is brown rice healthy or harmful? Nutritionally strong, but higher in inorganic arsenic. If kidney risk is your priority, consider white basmati, jasmine. Use arsenic-reducing methods. or blend brown plus white. Does rinsing alone help? Rinsing helps remove surface residues but won't pull arsenic from the grain's interior. Combine with high water cooking or parboil and absorb methods for meaningful reductions. What about infants and toddlers? They're more sensitive per body weight. Limit rice cereals and rotate grains: oat, barley, multigrain. Choose arsenic rice if using and cook with reduction methods. Is sushi rice safe? Many California sushi rices test lower than some. Southern U.S. rices still apply rinse plus reduction cooking and keep portions reasonable. If I have CKD, should I avoid rice entirely? Not necessarily. Work with your renal dietitian to balance potassium, phosphorus, protein, and carbohydrate needs. If rice fits, choose lower arsenic types and cook to reduce. Can rice raise cancer risk? Lifetime consumption of higher arsenic rice can increase lung and bladder cancer risk small on a population scale, but real and preventable. Lowering inorganic arsenic in your rice by choosing safer types and using reduction methods meaningfully reduces lifetime risk. Why this matters so much for kidneys chronic. Exposure to inorganic arsenic drives oxidative stress and inflammation in kidney tissues, injuring filters and tubules. Over time, that can push you toward protein leakage, electrolyte imbalance, declining GFR, and ultimately CKD. Add in other risks: high blood pressure, diabetes, high cholesterol, obesity. And the damage accelerates. The good news: choosing lower arsenic rices, cooking them properly, and rotating with arsenic grains can drastically cut your exposure while keeping meals satisfying and familiar. Quick action plan: kidney-safe rice routine. Pick the product wisely. White basmati jasmine from Pakistan, India, Himalayan regions, or California. Sushi rice when available. Rinse thoroughly with safe water. Cook to reduce. Use the parboil and absorb method, or cook like pasta method. Round out nutrients you might lose with high water cooking, for example. Iron B vitamins through other foods or a dietitian-guided plan. Rotate grains across the week: quinoa, millet, buckwheat, amaranth, oats, teff, corn. Audit your pantry for rice-based snacks, cereals. Rotate with arsenic alternatives. If you have CKD or risk factors, personalize with your nephrologist dietitian. Summary: rice is a major dietary source of inorganic arsenic, which can quietly damage kidneys over time. Origin and variety matter. Basmati jasmine from certain regions and California sushi rice often test lower. White rice generally carries less arsenic than brown. From the same variety, you can cut arsenic by 40 to 73%. Using rinse plus high water cooking, or parboil and absorb methods. Rotate with arsenic grains and keep an eye on rice-based products to limit cumulative exposure. If you're living with kidney disease or have risk factors, tailor your approach with your healthcare team. Thank you to all our subscribers and viewers. Your support inspires us to keep sharing life-saving content. Tap the bell and turn on all notifications so you never miss a video.